Petra gives away $500 at CES, Nokia's new line of phones may save the company, X-rays may go mobile, shopping via mobile devices soars in popularity, and about that cheaper iPhone? Oh yeah, just kidding. I'm Monica Helms with Petra Industries, here to bring you 5 of the week's hottest news stories, all right here on Petra Channels. Last week at CES, we gave away scratch and play game cards to the folks who visited our booth. These cards were good for all kinds of prizes, but one card in particular was good for a $500 cash prize. Well, we're happy to report that Jeffrey Peterson from Exclusive Electronics Incorporated of Seaverville, Tennessee was our $500 grand prize winner from CES. Congratulations, Jeffrey, and thanks for being a Petra customer. Nearly 2 years ago, Stephen Elop became the CEO of Nokia, a former leader in mobile phones that was teetering on the brink of irrelevance, according to the New York Times. Elop turned the company on its head when he suggested that they reject their own operating system, Symbian, to collaborate with Microsoft, which was also fumbling in terms of mobile technology. Last week, however, Elop was able to deliver the biggest news from the Finnish company since its transformation began. Nokia may be making a comeback. Thanks to a big marketing push, sales of its Lumia smartphone, powered by Microsoft's Windows Phone operating system, unexpectedly soared more than 50% in the fourth quarter of last year. Last week, the Nokia CEO was able to tell investors that the company would break even or possibly even turn a 2% profit, rather than report a possible 10% loss. The company's new line of smartphones is drawing favorable comparisons to the likes of Samsung and Apple, the two companies most responsible for putting Nokia in its precarious position just a few years ago. It's not all sunshine and daisies, though. Said a London analyst, Nokia still lacks the true killer phone that will enable it to compete with the iPhone 5 or Samsung Galaxy S3. Looking ahead, the company expects to return an operating loss of 2% of sales in the first quarter due to the post-holiday lull, but that the coming results could vary widely. The company says it could expect anywhere from a 6% operating loss to a 2% profit. Let's hear it for the underdog. Everyone hates going to the dentist, or the doctor, or anywhere involving medical equipment. Unless, of course, you're on staff. Maybe sometimes even then. Who knows? I don't know about you guys, but I'm in agreement with the author of this article when I say that one of the worst things about being around medical equipment is having to get x-rays. Writes the author, maybe I'm unduly paranoid, but when a technician covers me with a lead sheet, points a giant machine at my head, and then runs for cover, I get nervous. Agreed. But due to advances in new technology, that could all change. Developed by an engineering team at the University of Missouri, a compact source of x-rays and other forms of radiation may have come to fruition, and could even be as small as a stick of gum. One of the researchers thinks that a prototype of a handheld X-ray scanner, much like a tricorder from Star Trek, could be up and running in about 3 years. The advantages could be huge. Cargo could be searched more easily and cheaply, extraterrestrial exploration could benefit, and in particular, diagnostic services could be more easily brought to rural, remote, or impoverished areas in the world. The device hinges on a crystal made from lithium niobate and uses something called piezoelectric effect to amplify voltage. What this actually means is that certain materials produce electricity under pressure. If the functionality of this piezoelectricity continues to be explored, someday you could be using friction to charge your smartphone. Pretty cool, huh? Shopping via mobile devices increased 81% in 2012, with U.S. consumers making $25 billion in transactions. Researchers estimate that mobile devices accounted for 11% of e-commerce sales and expects that number to increase to 15% in 2013. eMarketer also expects consumers to make nearly $87 billion in mobile purchases by 2016, more than 27% of all e-commerce transactions. This growth is attributed to the increase of smartphone owners getting more comfortable with using their handsets to make purchases, as well as the rise in shopping via tablet, which eMarketer expects consumers to use for the bulk of mobile commerce sales during the next 4 years. Consumers will spend $24 billion shopping on tablets, and that number will almost double in 2014. Sales via smartphone won't be quite so fast, however. The expectation is that they'll reach $13 billion this year and $24 billion by 2016. Mobile shopping by holiday shoppers nearly doubled this year, accounting for 16.3% of online sales on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday, compared with 9.8% in 2011. Overall, consumers spent $42.3 billion online during the November through December holiday shopping season, a 14% increase over 2011. And because all this talk about shopping online just wouldn't be complete without a little shameless self-promotion, don't forget to check out the Petra website on your own mobile device. This version of our site is friendly to your smartphone or tablet, making it easy for you to shop with us from any of your devices. Last week, we reported on rumors that a cheaper iPhone is on the horizon. This week, we're reporting that Phil Schiller, Apple's Senior Vice President of Worldwide Marketing, is denying that rumor. CNET even speculates that Apple itself may have started the rumor to draw attention away from CES. Schiller was quoted in an interview last week as saying, "Despite the popularity of cheap smartphones, this will never be the future of Apple's products. In fact, although Apple's market share of smartphones is just about 20%, we own 75% of the profit." All right, fair enough. Analysts have estimated that a cheaper iPhone could potentially reach 500 million customers. But in Apple's world, if something is cheaper, it has to provide a distinctly positive and hopefully novel value, not just something cheap for cheap's sake. That's all for this week's 5 and 5. While you wait for next week's editions, be sure to stop by one of our social media channels to get your fix on product features and the latest consumer electronics news stories. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course, YouTube.